to the Tech Talks Daily podcast. Today, I've invited Zsuzsa Kecsmar, Chief Strategy Officer and co-founder of a company called Antavo, which is a loyalty technology platform used by some pretty big names, from BMW to Kentucky Fried Chicken, as well as fashion brands such as Simply Be, Ripcurl, and so many more. So today, I want to learn more about how she's transforming the company into a unique loyalty technology vendor, offering a next-gen, best-in-class solution to the loyalty sector. And the last few weeks alone, I'm hearing more and more about big brands, big businesses looking at revamping their loyalty program. I think there's a big wake-up call that the previous traditional method of loyalty programs are just not working. Customers have got slightly higher expectations now. And she also has a fantastic backstory that took her from being a former local radio producer to being listed by Forbes as one of the Europe's top 100 female founders in tech. And if we've got time, we'll also talk about the AI revolution that we're seeing right across the business industry, which has got so much to talk about, and I'm genuinely quite excited to get her on the podcast today. So buckle up and hold on tight as I beam your ears all the way to Hungary, where today's guest is waiting to share her story. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Hi, Neil. I'm Zsuzsa Kecsmar, Chief Strategy Officer and co-founder of Antavo. Antavo is a loyalty technology vendor, a software as a service company for brands and retailers to run great next generation loyalty programs. We founded a company 10 years ago, or a bit more, already a bit more than 10 years ago. And I'm one of the co-founders, and we are 100 people now.
Fantastic. And before you came on the podcast, I was doing a little research on you, and I read that you were 2009 Journalist of the Year in Hungary. And at that time, I think working in a local radio station was your only experience as an employee. And before that, well, after that, should I say, you were named 2016 Forbes Top 100 Female Founders in Technology. There's so much to unpack here. So can I ask you share your origin story and your path into the tech industry?
Yes, sure. So during my university years, I worked at local radio stations, and I had my own show. I had my own shows at various radio stations, and I was the one who went there on the weekends, on the holidays. So I was the person who was like the last on the ladder. And I was doing these things while the others were having rest and recharging on the weekends. And I really liked being on radio. I really liked being on air. I felt that the mic has a special power. People just open to me, I can get all these great stories. But I think that I don't need to describe this to you because you must experience the same thing. Yeah. And what I also felt, and it was the pre-podcast era, actually, that when I'm on air, it just goes away, it disappears, and I can't build things upon my work. Yeah. There is nothing that I can build because it's aired, it's gone. And I felt the need that I want to build something that remains so I can build other things on the top of it. And this is why I knew I'm not super talented in radio. I knew that I was not such a talent that would, make it to national media and be successful over there. So I knew that it's not my path and I want to do something else. So I teamed up with a person who is now my co-founder and also my husband, who wanted to build a product to take the next level from where he was with his small company that was a web agency. They built websites for customers who then happily left and never saw them for 2-3 years, and he wanted to change that. So we teamed up, and we had other co-founders too from his longtime employees. And we started to do the plan of this like product company. It was the term that we used for that back then, when we realized that, yes, that's a startup that we are building. And then I used the last year of my university studies to work on this. I also wrote the business plan, or I also wrote my thesis of the business plan of the company. So that, of course, changed like 1,000 times ever since and now. we don't do business plans. We use spreadsheets and stuff. And so this is how we started the company. And then for the longest time, we were just trying to find our way, and it was a different product. And in 2016, we switched to another product that is Antavo today, the loyalty management platform for brands and retailers for the enterprise.
It's such a great story. And as you said there, that path led you to Antavo, which is a loyalty technology platform. And I should also highlight here, it's used by some pretty big names such as BMW, Kentucky Fried Chicken, to name but a few. So there will be people listening, though, that are hearing about you for the first time. So can you tell me a little bit more about the story behind the company?
So previous product was a lead generation tool, and it is heavily relying on social media. But after Facebook did its IPO, everything changed, and Facebook wanted to direct people to their ads. And we also knew that this is not our path because we had a terrible churn. Like 30% of our customers left us at the end of each month, which showed us that in 3 months, all of our customers left and a new set of customers, or sometimes the same set of customers, came back. It was terrible churn, and there's no way to build a sustainable business, and we knew this. So we thought that what are the other areas that needs fixing, and the word of loyalty programs was that. And we also thought that it's just one little step from the product that we were already creating. We couldn't be more wrong because it was a completely different product. It was a different target audience. It is a different way to sell. So from selling to the small business, we went to selling to the enterprise, and it's very, very, very much different. Fortunately, we didn't know it back then. It was the bliss ignorance of beginner tech entrepreneurs, which I'm very grateful for. And this is how we ended up here in this space, which is indeed a space that needs fixing. If you imagine, loyalty programs has been the same in the past, 100 years. You spend $1 and earn a point. And this is how most loyalty programs work. But loyalty programs that are loyalty programs of the future, they go beyond rewarding transactions. They reward other things too, like if you refer a friend who becomes a customer, or if you interact with the brand's content, or if you bring back your old clothes to the fashion retailer, or if you even work out, or if you climb a mountain, you go out hiking, walking. These things can be part of a loyalty program. Other elements of your life, even charity or other ESG activities, these can be all part of one big system of customer engagement, of new loyalty programs, and Antavo helps to achieve that.
And loyalty is such a huge topic right now. So I've got to ask, what makes you so unique as a loyalty technology vendor? What makes you stand out from the crowd here from what other vendors might be offering?
It's two things.
Yeah.
First is that we only do this. We don't do anything else. It's very, very tempting to do like services, like agency services, because it's easy money. And okay, not that easy money. It's not easy to be an agency, but it's different kind of recurring revenue. But we consciously decided to not to do that because we want to work with these kinds of agencies, system integrators, loyalty agencies, loyalty consultants. We would bring the loyalty concept. They would be the people figuring out what's the best fit for that market. Because even though we are a UK company, it was me and 3 other Hungarian co-founders founding the company when we lived in London. But we serve customers on a global scale, not only in the UK, but all over Europe. Europe is our strongest region, and North America and APAC. So, kind of lost where what I was saying, yes, we only focus on the technology and not the services. And we also focus only on this technology and not other technologies like marketing automation or CRM. These are 2 areas that are close to our space, but we're not stepping on their toes because we know our space. This is what our space is, and this is where we are the best. And we let these companies who are partners to us to be the best at what they are the best at. So that's one of our USPs, being very clear about our positioning, being only loyalty technology and only technology. The other USP is that we know And we enable our customers to work on this next generation loyalty, this gamification, this emotional loyalty that goes beyond transactions. What I just described, how as a part of a loyalty program, you can encourage active lifestyle and not only reward transactions.
I love what you're doing here. Now you're honing on that particular area. And if we do have a business leader listening anywhere in the world, and their big focus right now is we need to revamp our loyalty program, we need to do things differently, we need to re-explore it. Can you just walk me through a possible use case, just so that business leader can understand how you might be able to help them and how you approach things differently, etc.?
Yes, and it's a very valid use case too, because according to our research that we published in the Global Customer Loyalty Report 2023, which is an 80-page document already downloaded by 3,000 people, it's really a great report that is driving our industry. According to that, 8 out of 10 companies with an existing loyalty program plan to revamp their loyalty program. It's a lot of movement, a lot of ambition out there. So it's a completely great and valid use case. Well, what I would tell them is that first, think about your business goals and find a person who can create that strategy to achieve that business goal. It's usually customer retention, or they want more zero-party data, or they want to have a better experience for the customer, that it's an omnichannel loyalty program experience, because they already have maybe a loyalty program that it's not perfect. And what I said is to find a person, but that can be a person, a loyalty consultant, that can be an agency, like 30, 50 people, still smaller, but a larger company. Yeah. Or it can be a company like Deloitte. So it's like various kinds of companies who do this kind of work. So once you have this strategist who would create the strategy, the next step is to find what is the technology that can make it happen. A technology like Antavo. And this is why actually we do a lot of education for these loyalty consultants. We build these relationships with them. We put them to the spotlight. We help to promote them because they are our allies in building our own business. Most of the times they are independent and they are very proud of that, but still they want to have these connections with us so they know where the technology is going, and they know that they include us in the RFP when it comes to that it comes to selecting a technology vendor. So after step number 1, have the strategist, and step number 2, find out the technology. You still need to know step number 3, who's gonna make it happen. Is it the first agency, or is it a system integrator, or is it your internal team who can wire together the different systems and do the system integration job? And then you will launch and then create a media campaign for that. Then if it's in store, educate the staff and so on. So it's a big work, but also on the other hand, it shouldn't be a super big work, because if you change the loyalty program gradually, like small changes, it's always better than a complete revamp. Customers are used to the stability of a loyalty program. They don't love huge changes. And we see, for example, in the UK market, a couple of examples here too, like Waitrose had a little newspaper, a magazine, as part of the loyalty program experience, but they realized not many people use it. So they took it away, but it was a huge backlash because people were actually missing it, and they thought that it's now an integral part of what is they are entitled for. So they felt that this was something taken away from them. And just on the other side of it, it's very nice if things are added gradually, because it's always nice to present something small, new, than to present with a whole new system at once.
And I am conscious that business leader that we're just talking to there, that they could be thinking now, this actually meets my business goals. It can help me transform our loyalty program. They're going to go into the office. They're going to see the IT director and say, I think this could be the solution for us. But of course, the IT director is going to have a load of technical questions. So can you tell me a little bit more about the technology that makes it all possible?
Yeah, so Antavo's technology is a software as a service technology. And we are API centric, meaning not API first, but API centric. And it helps that IT business leader to make the loyalty program look as they want it to look. So if their most important channel is, I don't know, WeChat or WhatsApp or their e-commerce site or their store, whatever the user interface is that they should own and they should know best, Antavo can connect with that because we are API first. Also, that IT leader should know that his job should be done by the time that the loyalty program is launched. Because no IT leader really wants to service these things in the long run. And with Antavo, they can do that because it's no code. Antavo's platform is no code, meaning that once it's launched and things are figured out, the systems are wired together. The marketing team or the CRM team or the loyalty team can manage the loyalty program because it was built for the marketeers, and the marketeers with their level of understanding should be able to manage and launch new campaigns and launch new initiatives or seasonal initiatives for the year. So these two things are the most important, just as I described that it's no code, and just as I described a bit before that it's API centric.
And I'm curious, you're speaking with some of the biggest names and biggest brands in the world. So from those conversations, what would you say are the biggest challenges brands have when attempting to build loyalty programs, and how are you helping them overcome these obstacles and challenges?
So we speak to two crowds. One is already having a loyalty program, and the other doesn't have a loyalty program. For those who doesn't have a loyalty program, oftentimes they realize that they don't know that it's a big project, and then they learn it along the way, and there's a lot of disappointment over there. So for these people, I just would like to tell them that it will be a big project, and then brace yourself, beat your team, and then make it happen because it's worth it. According to Gartner, 1 out of 3 companies without a loyalty program today will have a loyalty program by 2027. So it's not only loyalty program revamps, but also new loyalty programs are happening. It is a big competition, and then you need to keep up as a business leader. So their challenges right now that they don't know that it will be a big project, and maybe their challenge before that is that they don't have a great source of zero-party data. They're suffering because like third-party cookies will be gone, and then they just feel that their customers are slipping away through their fingers, and they don't have a great way to keep them. And this is why they usually come to us, because they identify that a loyalty program can help solve this problem. And the other audiences who are revamping a loyalty program, well, we really like them because they know that they are committed to having a loyalty program. They also have the budget for the loyalty program. They have the people who are managing this program. And they also have the pain, because their pain is that they can't create an omnichannel experience. It's clumsy between in-store and online or mobile, or it's only discount driven, it's only rewarding purchases. So it's that simple earn and burn kind of loyalty program. They want to do better. The ambitious people in the CRM loyalty teams want to do better, but they face these technology limitations. And this is when usually they make the decision that, okay, let's do a revamp. Let's start this again.
Love that. And this space moves so quickly, and the technology advances so quickly too. And I'm curious, you must be monitoring tech trends on a weekly, monthly basis. And are there any tech trends that particularly excite you in the industry? Has anything caught your eye?
Well, such an interesting topic. And I'm following this AI revolution that is happening in front of our eyes since last October or November, or at least this is when it started to break through the noise.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited about that. For example, I use ChatGPT every day now, like 3-4 times. I use it as my I don't know, personal assistant, proofreader, and then idea generator. I use it like someone sitting next to me and I can converse with. That's so special that I couldn't have imagined this 5 years ago, or even 2 years ago, or even 1 year ago. It was mind blowing when we experienced this the first time. I remember just a couple of months ago, sitting in the home office, in my husband's home office at 1 a.m. at night, and we were asking questions, and it gave so appropriate answers that it was mind blowing.
Yeah, 100% with you. It's amazing how transformative it has been in a matter of months. Absolutely insane how quickly that's grown now, and it's only going to continue that way. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Maybe get you back on later in the year to discuss how it's continuing to help you. But for Antavo there, can you tell me more about developing your global strategy to bring it to loyal professionals and systems integrators worldwide? Is there anything you can share about that and what the road ahead looks like for you?
Yes. So Antavo already has an academy, but we would like to revamp that, redo that, make it more robust, make it bigger. Because as just I talked about our company strategy, that we don't want to do services, we don't want to do other tech. We want to be the best in what we do right now. It also means that we need to empower these other technology companies and, most importantly, agencies like system integrators and loyalty consultant agencies on how Antavo works. And it will be a whole new, different and beautiful world. Just like imagine that there are all these Salesforce agencies out there. They use Salesforce Trailblazer Academy or education system to be Salesforce certified. It will be the same with Antavo. We will have the Antavo Academy as a big thing, giving certification to people and educating these agencies and giving them means to make more money with the help of our technology. So if they use our technology, they sell their services on the top of our technology, then they can make decent money and grow their company.
I've loved chatting with you today. So much gold in what you're doing here, and I love your unique proposition there. But there's listeners to this podcast in 165 countries, and one of the reasons I record this podcast every day is to try and put every single one of those countries on the map and learn more about how technology is transforming that region, maybe learn more about the startup scene in that area. So as today I'm talking to you in Hungary, is there anything you can share about how we can put Hungary on the map from a tech standpoint and a startup and businesses, etc.? Is there anything you can shout about or share around that?
Yes, sure. So Hungary is typically just like, I think, Romania or Ukraine or other companies or other countries in Central Europe are very strong in technology talent. And this is also how we started. We had these very smart engineers who built our product. And till today, our product team and engineering team is in Hungary. Like historically, in the past 100 years, from helping inventing the computer by Hungarians, the Hungarian education is very strong in these mathematics and informatics and computer science. So it's a great place to have engineers and to work together on creating this product. The country's limitation is that it's big enough so that entrepreneurs would think for a company for the country versus like thinking globally. For us, we thought of a global market from day one, but there are many who just think like Hungary first and trying to expand, and I think it's very difficult with that mindset. There are countries in Europe like Finland or Slovenia. They're small, so small, only like 2 million people living in Slovenia, that they go global immediately. They think of the global market first because their internal market is very small. And on other aspects, I don't think that I'm great in knowing many things about the Hungarian technology ecosystem because we are thinking on global scale and our eyes are on the global loyalty market. So, and it's actually a very nice thing to do, to be wherever, as our company is remote first and we work with 10 different nationalities within our company. These 100 people, they sit in all different locations. So it's very nice to like sit here at home, but to work towards being the best as a loyalty technology globally.
Absolutely love that. So passionate about your community and the tech scene in the country, but also not being afraid to think bigger, thinking about the world and serving the global community. Absolutely fantastic. But of course, none of us are able to achieve any amount of success without a little help along the way. So if I was to ask you, is there a particular person that you're grateful towards who maybe it saw something in you or invested a bit of time in you and just helped you get where you are today? Who would that person be and why? So we can give them a little shout out today.
Yeah, so this person hasn't only invested their time, but also their money, because this person is one of our investors, Christina Perkin-Davison from iEurope. She's one of the founders and partner at iEurope, which is a venture capital fund investing in Central Europe. And this is how we got to know each other, as the founding team is from Central Europe. And she is a person in business, moreover, a woman in business who achieves great things. And this also inspired me in so many areas of my life. Just to say a very easy example, when we struggled of, how to make family work, how to make personal time work, and also how to grow the company, she just said hire some help for the home. And then it was light bulb moment that, of course, that help needs to be hired. Or when we were seeing that there's a lot of new customers coming and how to serve these customers, 2021 was a very big year for us. We had 3x growth in terms of revenue and team size. It was a very, very busy year. And this is when she said that, this is the moment when you need to raise another round of funding. And this is what actually led us raising another round of funding, 10 million euros. I talked about it in Sky News because of the relevance of the topic, as customer loyalty is so important today, and it can help to cope with the recession as a way to think of your existing customers, not only focusing on new ones. So she had a very big impact on the company, and I will be very much grateful, kind of forever, for her.
Wow, what an amazing person. So a quick shout out there, and a thank you from yourself and from everyone listening as well. But anyone listening just wanting to find out more information about Antavo and the kind of work that you're doing, how you might be able to help them or contact your team, what's the best starting point for everything? Can you point the listeners in the direction of your website, etc.?
Yeah, so thanks for asking this. Actually, it's Antavo.com. It's very simple. And there people could see if we can help them. It's typically larger companies that we can help, and it would be their marketing or loyalty team who would be looking for a technology solution. And after that, it's the IT team or digital transformation team who would want to find out what the product is capable of. So it's Antavo.com.
Well, absolutely love chatting with you today. Such a powerful backstory and how you've gone from your background to transforming this company into a unique loyalty tech vendor, offering a next-gen best-in-class solution to the loyalty sector at a time where everybody's looking at revamping. Well, I'm certainly from the businesses that I've spoke with are revamping their loyalty programs, and it's a story I'm seeing increasing. I wish you the best of luck for the future. I'd love to stay in touch, maybe get you on later in the year, see how trends are evolving. But just thank you for sharing your story today.
Thank you for the opportunity, Neil.
What a fantastic conversation that. I love her backstory, so inspirational. And also, I think at a time where so many businesses are looking to revamp their loyalty programs, learning how technology can help brands build new loyalty programs and also improve existing loyalty. But I'm curious, if this is something your business or a brand that you're working with are going through at the moment, any insights you'd like to share? And also, have you, as a consumer, when you're outside of the office, are there good examples of loyalty programs and bad examples of loyalty programs? I'd love to hear your views on this. I think as consumers, we all want something different, but I think we can all agree we want something more than the traditional methods. Or maybe you don't. Maybe I've got that completely wrong. So email me now, techblogwriter@outlook.com, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram @Neil C. Hughes. Let me know your thoughts. We'll keep the conversation going. And if today's topic was not your thing, maybe you want to come on the podcast, talk about something else. Maybe you want me to put where you live on the map. You could talk about the tech startup scene where you live, or anything at all. This podcast is your podcast, and whoever you want on here, even if it is yourself, I'll happily oblige. So join me again tomorrow. We've got another guest lined up, and a big thank you for listening today. But until next time, don't be a stranger.